me, it's Lizzie here, talking about group work. Now, a lot of people, want to start groups, study circles, and stuff like that to have chances to practice with other people. But there's a lot of things you need to take into consideration when starting a group and start working with other people. When you're forming a group, it's very important to consider what's the purpose of the group. Why are you making this group? Do you want to further your, is it purely for witchcraft? Is it for, to help deepen your worship of a specific religion? We really need to consider the purpose of the group and what its goal is. You need to establish how many members you want. You don't want too many. A lot of members can really cause a lot of strain and unneeded pressure. It's very important that you establish the rules, like when you have to do certain things, what you have to agree on, what you can and cannot do in the part of this group. You need to establish who the leaders are of the group, who are the main decision makers, who helps guide the group in certain ways, who picks out new members and stuff like that. You need to establish what the roles of the members will be, who sets up the location so it's ready for your circle work, who establishes the funding, who manages the group, who helps people adapt to the group, who shops for the group. It's very important they consider these roles. It's very important that you consider where you're going to meet and when you're going to meet. With locations and dating them, you need to make sure that you follow these three things. That the place is safe. Nobody can get hurt from them. You need to make it so they're accessible. And you need to make it so they're private. Or it really does help if it's a private area because you don't feel like prying eyes on you and you don't get that added pressure. You need to consider what fees need to be paid to help a group flourish. You need to consider what the members and everyone in the group need to do to help work and contribute to the group. You also need to consider participation. Who is continuously coming to the group meetings, putting in hard time and effort, and who is just there just lazing about doing nothing. You should also make a protocol when accepting new members. You should think about how dedicated they'll be to the group, if they're willing to listen to the rules, if they're willing to work hard for the group, contribute money and time and effort to it. Will they be able to get along with everyone else, and will they listen to the leaders of the group? Because you're not going to change the group for one person. They need to be able to work smoothly with the group. There's other things to consider when making groups. You will consider the needed items, tools, and such like that you'll need for the group. Like a book stand really helps. If you want robes, if you want specific jewelry, or specific items or tools, you should consider what you need as you set up group fees and stuff like that to join. You should also think about what punishment should be. Like if someone breaks the rules, what should you do? Is it a 3-point rule where they get 3 warnings and then they're out? Or is it 1 warning and then they're out? Or is this they're out if they break any of the rules? You need to consider this, how you'll deal with people when they break rules, because eventually it will happen. And you need to consider what the group will do when you need to remove someone from the group. There are a lot of really good books out there. The one that's really helpful for forming groups is The Real Witch's Coven. Now, I would unless you are like licensed and stuff like that to form a coven, I would just make a group circle because there's a lot of significant meanings behind the word coven. And some people get angry when people just say, oh, I have a coven, I haven't done any of this hard work to make this coven, I'm just going to randomly have it there. And having a group circle is a lot easier than a coven because it doesn't require all the work. You have to do some legal things to make a government recognized religious group. It's also easier because you can kind of see how things work out with people. You don't have to be as quite dedicated to it, but some people are really dedicated to their groups. Yeah, I would definitely pick up this group. If you substitute the word coven with group circle, it's awesome. Though I think some people do use this book when they're actually forming recognized covens. Yeah, it's a really good book. It talks about roles and stuff like that, what you should do as a leader, what people should, do to join the group. It's pretty helpful. First I must say that do not underestimate how much work and effort it is to make a group. There's a lot of responsibility behind it, and you can't just make it within a day. You have to be dedicated, you have to put in hard work. And it's hard work, time, effort, and a lot of money. So don't go into this thinking it'll be easy. If you do it well, it'll be amazing. It'll be so much fun. And it'll be great. But you should never underestimate it. Doing a group or making any sort of group is a challenge. So that's my say on it. I hope everyone finds these tips and advice helpful. And I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Blessed be.